Have you ever seen this show called Love Island? Because I've, by accident, got into that quite recently, and I cannot not to talk about it. I cannot. I just cannot. I'm normally not. I'm not. I don't have a TV for a long time. I don't watch Netflix and shows like that, so I'm not really usually up to date. But obviously, I'm alive, so from time to time, there are some names and things I hear happening, usually from far and not so much, but sometimes. And for some reasons, a couple of days ago, on my feed, like a part of one show up, and I saw this. It's Love Island, and I knew I've heard this name, and I was like, okay, I'm curious to see what is it about. OMG. For me, if hell would be a 3D material place, like something in the existing in the material world, I would. That for me personally, that would be one of the manifestations possible. Um, I got really involved, like because I love observing people. I was like that since I was 7, and now because I know quite a lot of things about humans, I was so much fascinated, and really I follow it. Like I haven't seen like a whole show, but I've seen many parts of some shows, mostly from this. I think it's the current one, from UK, I believe, the Love Island UK. So yeah, I've got fascinated about this whole idea and what is going on in there, and especially obviously because it's all about dynamics between men and women. For those who don't know, a group of men and women are stuck in the same place, spending all their days in bikinis and being relaxed, and I think sharing one. It looks like that for me from camera, like from what is shown, like living in one vast place, like a big room, like sleeping in. They all, I believe, receive like 2-person beds, and they are choosing partners to sleep with them, which also changes a lot for some people in the program. And I was the most curious about seeing women because I know how we are constructed and built on the biological, emotional, psychological, and energetic level. So I was curious to see, even if, right, I believe those people and those women who apply to take part in this kind of program, everywhere there are cameras there, whenever they go, outside, inside, whatever they do, and from whoever they speak, it's registered, right? And this all big bedroom, I don't know if it's only one big but shared, very much shared, and these beds are very close to each other. No. You need to be very much like open to share your privacy in such a open way, and so on. So there is this specific kind of people, right, who wants to take part in this kind of program and apply. Even though I was so curious to see the games between men and women, especially from women's side, I was curious. And I wasn't surprised and disappointed, even though you could say there is a specific group of people, men and women, taking part in this game. Even though it's a specific one, it's still, we can't fully override our biology and how we are constructed. So what I want to share with you, it's like, I'm not saying that from moral or religious or whatever, legal, because it's all legal what they're doing there. It's not from this kind of perspectives. I'm I'm not judging, like I'm full for freedom. I really want. I really believe that everyone should do whatever fact they want in their life. So it's not about that. And observing and knowing these things about women and dynamics and biology, energetics, and everything. I wasn't surprised to, after seeing lots of these parts, to see that even in this kind of conditions, some truths are always there. What I mean by that, because okay, there were moments when like something was screaming inside of me. I was like, women, because some women, they were, changing lots of partners, like they are, touching all the time, kissing with these people and that people and these people, and hugging and doing crazy dances which look like, modern dances, and sleeping together, and then obviously doing some stuff, all stuff, whatever. So, and even though some of these women, like lots of them kind of give this impression of being very open-minded, is how it's called today. Even though you could tell after watching, parts of the shows that progressed. So when you can see it from a perspective, they, even though they think they are or play being quite, open-minded and everything, they still, you can tell they get attached, right? They cry when other men choose, like the men they wanted choose other women. They get furious, they get disappointed. They get, what was there as well? They play, the revenge games and so on and so on. So for me, it's like not surprising at all. And there was something in me screaming inside, because I was like, you are playing, ladies, yourself. You maybe it's not conscious. The problem is for me that it's like a manifestation of this cultural thing today, that we women think or pretend, usually I think it's unconscious, like we play this game which is not really serving us, in my opinion, emotionally, biologically, and energetically. That is, being like men and being so open-minded and giving such an easy access to our like minds, hearts, bodies, and energetics to men. It doesn't serve us, because we do have these hormones, right? We are wired, if we want or not, and it's not connected with times we live in. We are wired for connection, women. We are wired. Our brain is wired for connection, right? Our everything, the fact that we are better at communicators and everything. So we are wired for connection, for communication, and also, when getting intimate with men, like there are this all hormones that show up that are again like, because we are wired for connection, they are like bonding us on sometimes unconscious way, way, very strongly, biologically and energetically, because energetically we receive men very strongly, and we can think that we are so modern and independent and open-minded. But in the same time, if we know it or not, that's the fact. That's what's happening. The bonds that happens during the intimacy with men are like our system act in a way like we can, after one intimate contact with men, start like there are these parts of biology in us that kind of start to wear the pink glasses and kind of perceive him almost like a future father of our kids. Whatever we want kids, consciously or not, right? But I'm speaking biologically and energetically mostly, and emotionally as well, because I wasn't surprised at all seeing the progression of some relations relationships that are not really in my definition, but let's say relationships with this some couples, right? You could see how devastated emotionally were women who were, not chosen or dropped by some men. Also, it sometimes happened on the other way around, but mostly it were women. And for me, like, it looked for me that if they are aware of not, because they might be conscious of that and just play the game, or they might be unconscious. For me, it seems, after seeing like the progression, so the parts from the early part of the show and middle and everything, that if they are, these women, majority, not all of them, but majority, if they are aware of that or not, they kind of look for a man, like a partner relationship, men maybe even for life. Their behaviors and reactions over time, especially on the rejection, were for me proving that. And I'm not surprised, because as I said, we are wired for that, if we want it or not. That's the thing. So, and the funniest part was that there were these two women. Was it in the one show? Because in the end, I also watched from other countries some parts, but I think it was from this one UK one. So there were like two of them who actually kind of played hard to get, and again, I'm not judging. I'm just describing you this scene. They were like how to say it? They were like behaving. They were both in time. They caught attention of the, let's say, the alpha. I mean, they are not really alpha, but looking alpha men. So the catch attracted the catch from, like, so the women catches attracted the men catches, in terms of measured by it, like how many like women were attracted in men that they attracted. Are you following me? So and they play so much hard to get, but with time I see these little parts when both of them were saying this man about that they actually would like the relationship, or even straightforward that they would like to progress with them, even if I think, that they would like to progress with them, right? And those two men seems a little bit shocked, because they didn't give the impression like they would really be there for relationship. And also, even one of them had quite an interesting conversation with this girl. He was attracted, let's say, the most, this program is probably not about that, right? Like, he was shocked when she said that she's a relationship girl, and that she actually is looking for a relationship. And I know it can happen there as well. I believe we can meet people absolutely everywhere in the world, and I think there were also some examples from even last other shows that it's possible. But I wanted to show you the mechanism. So these men were thinking that these women are catch, and they will have, because they are so hard to get and everything, and amazing because of that they will have a good fun with them. And both of them, more or less directly, there were some parts like just informed them that actually they want exclusivity, they want to progress, and they want, at least one name it like that, they want a relationship. So you know what I'm saying? Like, in the end, in majority of cases, women are like that and wired for that. Some of them are playing this game consciously because somehow they think that being giving the impression of being open-minded, they will catch somebody. And some of them, I think majority, just thinks that that's the modern world and this is how you need to play the game. But the game doesn't serve women, energetic, doesn't serve women body, that doesn't serve women emotionality. in majority of cases, because there are always exceptions to all rules, right? So yeah, I was watching that with a lot of curiosity, but actually I wasn't surprised at all with what I saw in the end, and I regret that women are not aware of all of that, right? Because as I said in the beginning, it's not about morality at all. It's not about that. It's about knowing what we actually want, being in integrity about that, and yes, and I believe communicating that clearly, right? And I was also regretting that, this kind of shows, unfortunately, continue this culture, like enhancing this culture of, this modern culture of hooking up. And, there are probably young people or very young people around the world who watch it and think that this is how dynamics and relationships between men and women should look like. Right? And that is, that this is an example to be inspired by, which I believe in the end doesn't serve nor women nor men, but especially it doesn't serve women. So this is what I wanted to share with you today.